Good evening, everybody. You just can't imagine how happy I am to be back here on TV Festival this year. After 2 years without the festival, we are on the red carpet here at the Cannes Film Festival to see the third film in competition. Here's Andy MacDonald now. Good evening.
But in English.
Is everything all right?
Spanish. Oh, wow. Everything's fantastic.
How's life in Cannes?
So happy to be free and with people and sharing cinema and back out after a really hard time for all of us.
Yeah, we were really missing it, were we?
Yes, we were. So much.
How is it important for you to be? You come a lot of times to the festival. How is it important for you to have the Festival de Cannes as a rendezvous every year?
Well, I'm very fortunate to have this relationship with L'Oréal for 35 years. It's been a huge part of my life, and I love cinema. So it's two of my loves.
How was Annette yesterday?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I thought, it was very brave and artistic and creative, and I really enjoyed it.
All right, merci beaucoup,
Thank
madame.
you.
Merci infiniment. Andy MacDowell.
That was Andy MacDowell. She's going to be here every evening because she is the inspiration of a cosmetic brand, and she is on the red carpet every evening. We saw Leila Bekti, another inspiration of a cosmetic company. The red carpet is where you'll find all the beauties. This is one of the early films in competition. The film Annette has a French film director, but of course it was made in the States. This evening we have a film with a French star-studded cast with Sophie MARCEAU, André DUSSOLLIer, Géraldine PAILHAS. The film was called Everything Went Well, and I can tell you everything did go well when and everything will go well when this film is screened this evening. As Mati Diop said in the press conference about the jury, of course you can see that press conference of the jury on our TV channel. She said that this isn't really the 74th Cannes Film Festival. This is the first film festival of a new era. And I think she was right. The crisis we've all been through this year, when there was very little going on in the movie theatres or anywhere else. This is going to change things. Now we are going to enjoy films in a different manner. We're going to make films in a different manner. We'll watch them differently. Everything has changed. This is a new era that we have. But one thing is certain, that films, that cinemas, and the joy of watching films, well, that will never, ever change.
Andy MacDowell, donc,
Andy MacDowell on the red carpet here in Cannes. In 1989, she was in Sex, Lies and Videos, a prize-winning film. That year, she could not be in Cannes, but afterwards she came back when Wim Wenders won a Palm, and she was able to witness that ceremony. Andy MacDowell on the red carpet. There was another film in competition that was screened this afternoon. It's called Ahed's Knee, directed by Nadav Lapid, a film from Israel. And it was a great success. The audience was very positive in its reaction. Let's see how the official jury reacts. But let's take a look at how the audience reacted at the end of the screening. That's the end of the screening of Ahed's Knee, directed by Nadav Lapid. There we have the whole crew, all very moved at the end of the screening of their film.
Nadav Lapid.
The director is Nadav Lapid. He's with his lead male and female roads.
Film très engagé.
The film is Ahed's Knee. And I'm sure that everyone will be talking about this film. We've seen 3 films in competition so far, and there are 24 in total. The public was very enthusiastic about the film Our Heads Knee. He was given the microphone at the end of the screening, and he said, "Oh, I've got nothing intelligent to say. I'm just so excited and moved." So it was quite touching. Here we are back outside the festival hall on the red carpet.
De ce 74e festival.
We're at the 74th Cannes Film Festival. We've already had plenty of excitement yesterday and today. There are many guests here at the festival. There was a masterclass hosted by Bong Joon-ho today. At lunchtime, it was really successful. The director of Parasite, of course, Palme winner 2 years ago here in Cannes. And that film has had a wonderful career. 4 Oscars in Hollywood, including Best Foreign Film, Best Director. So that's quite a success story there. And he was very generous with the audience, answering all of their questions, a thrilling discussion with different journalists. It was a very, very interesting meeting. And then this afternoon, there was a master class by our honorary Palme winner this year, Jodie Foster, of course. She gave a masterclass this afternoon, and she received an honorary Palme d'Or from Pedro Almodovar. So Jodie Foster spent an hour and a half with the audience here in Cannes to talk to the audience. And she was absolutely outstanding. She could give advice to all kinds of people who were starting out in their careers, telling them about how difficult it can be to have gained stardom and then shift into something else, making films, directing films, for example. She made Little Men Dead as her first film as a director immediately after Silence of the Lambs, in which she was, of course, a magnificent actress. It's marvelous when such talented artists come to Cannes. They're here to share, to give, and to meet the audience here in Cannes.
Malgré tout, même si on porte les masques, on va quand même.
So although we have to wear our masks, we still have to go to the movies and meet artists, and the artists are thrilled as well.
À ce niveau-là, il n'y a pas grand changement.
Apart from the masks, there's not really too much change here in Cannes.
Tout se passe bien, comme dit.
Everything's going very well.
On attend un petit peu que les invités arrivent.
Misquote François OZON.
Ici, d'abord les invités du festival et puis ensuite
The guests are filing in
du film.
to the
L'habitude, ça y est maintenant.
movie theatre. Of course, you know the drill. You know that the film goers are on the red carpet to begin with, and then the official team arrives. There are the red carpets, the press conferences, the photo calls. You enjoy it all. You don't miss a crumb, apart sometimes from some of the films, although this year quite a few of them are being released to the public at the same time as being shown here in Cannes.
Sur le tapis rouge du
So here we are on the red carpet at the 74th Cannes Film Festival.
Alors que je vois l'ami Pierre Zeni là-haut.
I can see my colleague Pierre at the top of the steps. He's announcing the arrival of the different stars this evening. He works in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Very busy man.
Et il fait ça parfaitement bien.
And he's, of course, doing a perfect job.
Voilà, donc on attend encore beaucoup de monde.
So we are expecting a lot of people on the red carpet this
Je vais
evening.
vous faire saliver un petit peu. Je vais vous dire un petit peu qui on va avoir.
Let me whet your appetite. Normally, we will be seeing
Isabelle Huppert. Ah, alors que
Isabelle Huppert. Oh, there's Diane Kruger just arrived.
Diane Kruger qui va être avec nous dans un temps.
Diane Kruger will be with us in a second.
Oui, bien sûr. Diane Kruger qui avait
There is Diane Kruger. screen now. She won the Best Actress here in Cannes 3 years ago.
Elle l'avait remporté pour le film de Fatih Akin.
In the Fatih Akin film. Diane, how are you?
Je vais vous installer ici.
Would you like to stand just here? Let's keep our distance because of COVID. Is everything okay with you? Yeah, fine. I'm so delighted to be here. Feels good, doesn't it? Yep, feels really good. 2 years without these parties, without France. I was blocked in the United States, so I'm really moved to be here. So what's France like after all this time? Oh, still as wonderful. So a few years ago, you won your Best Actress, Palm, for the Fatih Akin film. What does the Best Actress award change in an actress's career? I'm not sure that it changes anything, but I have a feeling that I participated in a film that really struck people, and I'm proud about that. It may have changed the way some screenwriters and directors consider me, but perhaps I've become more interesting. Have they been offering you similar roles? No, different roles with greater character. Have you accepted them? Well, I've got a daughter now, and there was COVID, so I'll be back to work this week. So hopefully you'll be on the red carpet again next year. Let's hope so. A film this evening is by François OZON. So what does François OZON mean to you? Oh, he is a pillar in French film. I'm dying to see the film. I hear it's very sad, so I've got my tissues with me. It is a wonderful film. I have seen it already, and you'll really enjoy it, I'm sure.
C'est vrai que c'est un film très émouvant, le film.
It is a very moving film, this film directed by François OZON. In English, it's called Everything Went Fine.
Alors que... Elsa!
There's Elsa on the red carpet now. Let's try and have a word with Elba Silberstein. How are things with you? Did you have a word with Diane? She said she'd not been here for 2 years. Can you say a couple of words about Annette, the film that was screened last night? I loved it. I really loved it. It's is it an unidentified flying object? It's really different. The two actors, Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard, are wonderful. Carax is up to normal, wonderful standards. It really is a magical film. So yesterday, you had a good time. You are a member of the Un Certain Regard jury this year. How is that going? Well, we saw one film this morning. The interesting thing is that these are films from all over the world. Some films are very, very daring. Some films that are really, really having a great platform here. It's great to see young filmmakers and original filmmakers. So how did you feel when Thierry phoned you and asked you to be on the jury? Oh, I was thrilled. I've always wanted to do it. And it really is a wonderful experience. So the jury members are all fabulous. It's really having a strong shot of a film in the arm. It's really wonderful. Well, hope you enjoy your job. Thank you.
Ah, Isabelle Huppert, hola.
Isabelle Huppert is here.
Je pense qu'on va essayer de dire un petit mot à Isabelle Huppert.
We'll try and have a word with Isabelle Huppert.
Petite minute.
Have you got a minute for us, Isabelle?
Ça va, Isabelle?
How are you doing? Fine.
Un petit mot sur cette année, c'est un peu spécial parce que vous...
This is a rather strange year. You've been in Avignon Festival, now you're in the Cannes Festival. What's the difference? Well, there's no red carpet in Avignon to begin with, but is there such a big difference? I don't know. We're all there to celebrate shows. Is there a difference between a theatrical actress and a film actress? In my eyes, no. It's the same kind of work. So you do this, the mechanics are the same. Well, you remain yourself and you act. This evening you're going to see the latest OZON film. What does OZON mean to you? Well, I remember him from the film 8 Women. He's very versatile. He can lend his hand to all different types of genres. What was it like when you worked with him on 8 Women? Oh, it was wonderful. He's a great guy. Thank you very much. See you soon. Isabelle will have a masterclass. She's running a masterclass here. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready for my masterclass, yes.
Donc le rendez-vous Isabelle Huppert ce soir.
Isabelle Huppert will be having her masterclass, I believe it's tomorrow, and she is going to be talking with a theatrical journalist. She wants to talk about film, plays, etc., and I'm sure you'll see some excerpts here on the Téléfestival.
Alors qu'on voit à l'image toute
on the screen, we have the crew from Onoda, a film by Arthur Harari. It was the opening film from the Un certain regard section.
Il est accompagné de...
He is accompanied by Justine Prier, Nicolas Maury Yokario. The director, of course, is Arthur Harari.
Jury Un certain regard.
The Un certain regard jury is with us also on the red carpet this evening. Andrea Arnold, Elsa Zilberstein, Daniel Berman, Munya Medo, and Michael Cavino. Andrea Arnold is the president, and I think she too has a film which is being screened here, either in Cannes, it's called in Cannes Premiere, and the title of the film is Cow. It's an unbelievable film. Let me tell you, if I tell you about it, it's the life of a cow, from the beginning to the end of the life, from the birth of the cow till the death of the cow, and it's fascinating. I promise you, I'm not lying, the life of a cow can be fascinating.
Tout quand c'est raconté par...
Particularly when that life story is told by Andrea Arnold. She has won 3 jury prizes here in Cannes. The most recent one was for the film with Joaquin Phoenix in it.
Non, c'était American Unicorn. Et Fish Tank aussi.
Fish Tank, of course, is one of the films. Andrea Arnold and the jury from the Un certain regard section.
Isabelle Huppert qui arrive en
Isabelle Huppert is at the bottom of the steps now.
C'est bien entendu 8 femmes.
And of course, she worked with François OZON on the film 8 Women. François OZON is very prolific. He produces films all the time. He's not like Clint Eastwood or Woody Allen, who produce one film every 8 years. It's the opposite for him.
Voilà donc Isabelle Huppert face au photographe, alors que le président du festival...
The president of the festival and the general manager, they're both at the top of or halfway up the steps, waiting for the jury of the Un certain regard section, and they'll also, I'm sure, greet Isabelle Huppert. The last time we saw Isabelle Huppert in Cannes was in the Paul Verhoeven film Elle. But Isabelle is a regular here. She comes every year. I think every second year she has a film in competition, either on the opening night or in one of the selections. So I think it's not an exaggeration to say that she's one of the greatest actresses in French film or even world film. She's absolutely amazing, quite simply amazing. And she has just opened the Avignon Film Festival. Theatre Festival, rather. And Avignon's not very far from Cannes, as we all know.
Voilà, alors que je vois des voitures arriver.
And I can see some official cars turning up now. Could this be the crew from the film we're here to see tonight?
Isabelle Huppert, donc toujours devant les photos.
Isabelle Huppert having her photo taken.
Là, voilà, la bise.
Now,
Pierre Lescure.
with Pierre Lescure and Thierry Frémaux on the red carpet.
Elle, c'était il y a 4 ans.
The film Elle was here 4 years ago.
Elle qui a failli lui rapporter.
And with the film Elle, she almost won an Oscar.
À l'époque. C'est l'équipe d'Onoda qui est en train d'arriver, me semble-t-il.
Here we have some official cars at the bottom of the steps.
Voilà, donc nous sommes toujours en bas des marches.
We are still on the red carpet here in Cannes, outside the festival hall, for the second evening at the 74th Film Festival.
Festival évidemment pas comme les autres.
It's a festival which is
Plus ça redémarre.
unlike any other, but we're getting back to normal. We have screenings from 8 in the morning,
Les dîners qui commencent à minuit.
dinners which start at midnight. Absolutely typical here in Cannes at the festival.
Voilà donc. On attend l'équipe du film.
We are waiting
C'est bien passé.
for the crew from the film entitled Everything Went Well, or Everything Went Fine, directed by François OZON and starring Sophie MARCEAU, André DUSSOLLIER, Géraldine PAILHAS and a host of other stars.
Voilà des voitures qui arrivent. Est-ce que
Where are the cars? Are they the cars we're waiting for?
l'équipe du film qui arrive? Il y aura aussi Eric Carvaca. Évidemment, tout s'est bien passé, adapté du livre des
The film is an adaptation of a novel by Emmanuel Bernet, wonderful book, and the adaptation for the big screen is wonderful.
de romans où on entend la voix qu'on entendait dans le texte.
Sometimes if you've read a book and then you watch the film, you can sometimes hear that voice from the book as you watch the film. And this is the case with this film here.
Et Sophie MARCEAU, donc, qui sera avec nous.
Sophie MARCEAU will be with us on the red carpet very, very soon.
L'équipe du film est déjà là.
And the official team is here. Yes, let's try and get close to them.
André DUSSOLLIER qui vient
There we
d'arriver.
have André DUSSOLLIer
Quelques autographes.
signing autographs.
DUSSOLLIer qui est d'un courage
André DUSSOLLIer is so brave in the film. What he does in the film is so very, very brave.
On va lui parler dans un instant.
We'll try and have a word with him in a moment.
Que Géraldine PAILHAS est là.
Géraldine PAILHAS is there.
Géraldine, si vous voulez. bien
Géraldine, can I have a word? Let's go and fetch her.
Bonsoir Géraldine.
Good evening, Geraldine. How are you?
Si vous voulez bien vous mettre là.
Oui,
Just stand here, please.
elle aussi. Enfin, jusqu'à maintenant.
Je ne vous en demanderai pas plus.
I'll be well behaved. Well, that's good to hear.
Ok, j'ai vu le film ce matin.
So I saw the film this morning.
Il est très courageux ce film, il est très courageux.
It's a very brave film, brave for you and for André and for François, who directed the film. So what kind of courage did you need to make the film?
Celui de surmonter les émotions que j'ai eues
Well,
dès le départ.
the only courage I needed was to master my emotions when I was first invited to be in the film and to play a part in this film, which is so important to him because
Son ami Emmanuel Bernet.
his friend wrote the book and that friend died several years ago. I was very close to the author as well. So
Cette invitation-là,
that specific invitation from François, I didn't need to be brave, but I had to be able to master my emotions right from the very outset. Then after that, it was just joyous. It was so exciting. We had such fun, even in a serious film. There are certain books that are well adapted, so well that when you watch the film, you can hear the voices that you heard in the book. How does that happen? Well, I think that the way the book was written, it was very cinematographic. And François, adapting the book,
il fallait qu'il soit aussi
remained true to the book. He remained true to the writing. It's not simply a story when you make a film, it's the way that the story is written. And François wanted to be very, very loyal to the writing in the book.
C'est comment d'avoir Sophie MARCEAU comme ça?
And was it good fun working with Sophie MARCEAU as well? Yeah, it was great. You can ask her the same question. I'm sure she'll give you the same answer. I've got a sister. She doesn't.
Sans vouloir être trop cucu.
We
Assez garçonnes toutes les deux en fait.
we're a bit kind of tomboys, the pair of us, really. So we really got on well together, like a house on fire. Thank you very much.
Sophie.
Let's try and have a word with Sophie or François.
Comment ça va?
Here's François. How are you feeling, François? I'm okay.
Oh là,
A quick word about the film. How do you feel? Oh, I'm a bit nervous, but happy to be here all the same. We're glad that the festival is up and running. We're happy to be showing our film. Last year, my film 85 was selected. Summer 85, it was selected, but it wasn't shown. So this year, I'm so glad to be here. I'm thinking of Emmanuel Bernet, who wrote the book, and I've adapted that book. When I saw the film in my head, I had the same voice that when I read the book. How do you manage to pull that off? I'm not sure. I think I needed a lot of time to make that book my own, and when Emmanuel died, perhaps it helped me to understand what she'd been through. It's a very emotional story, a strong story. Is it important to show that kind of story today? I think it's not necessarily a film on a specific subject. It's a film about a family and the relationships in that family. Of course, there's a background. It's all about society. What I was interested in was Sophie. Sophie plays Emmanuel's character. In fact, I was saying to François, when I saw the film, I had the same voice in my head as when I read the book. How did you manage to achieve that? But like you, I had the book in my mind. It had been written for a film. It was written for François, I believe, because he's made a lot of film, and all the films are different, of course. But I think that François was touched by that, the woman who wrote the book, her life, and the figure of the father, who's very charismatic, although unbearable at the same time, a very free spirit. We're talking about life, we're talking about family bonds and events which happen to us all and which are very difficult. Let's have a word with Dad. Here he is. Here's the father. So a question for both of you, because on many, many levels, it's very, very brave what you've done in this film, because we're all impacted by this. We've all been through this kind of experience. So, yes, let's start with you, André. You needed to be quite brave to play this role. It was always very exciting when you have to create so many things and do so many things. It was a strong role. It was rather impressive to have to play this role of a man who was determined to end his life and who asks his daughter to help him. But it was a challenge, and that made it exciting. The very first scene, when the daughter goes into the hospital room and sees her father, there's a look in your eyes that speaks volumes. What did you feel like when you saw him in that hospital bed? Well, these were wonderful scenes for any actor, scenes of truth. You had to act a lot. André was really enjoying being so nasty and sarcastic and throwing all of the standards and the norms and the codes out of the window. It was great to see the actors with so much emotion, conveying their emotions, surprises in life, etc. It's very, very colourful. The character that he plays is very colourful, and he enjoyed playing him, so that made it fun for the rest of us. There's a lot of balance between drama and the funny side of things. François wanted to tell a story with ups and downs, all of the different characteristics that were involved. It was very strong. It's also a film about assisted death, which is a hot topic nowadays. Do you think it's important for us to broach that subject? Yeah, it's important to talk, to communicate, to express your feelings. It is important to speak, in short. And for subjects like this, you just can't avoid them. Sooner or later, we're going to have to address those issues. So it's a bit of a relief to update things. Yeah, of course. François OZON always tackles major questions that we're talking about in society, and I think euthanasia is a subject which we'll be talking about for a long time to come, I think.
Bon, voilà, et c'est donc...
In fact, in French Parliament, they're going to be talking about it in September. I'll let you enjoy the red carpet. Thank you very much for talking to us. Well done for the film. That was André DUSSOLLIER, Sophie MARCEAU, Géraldine PAILHAS, and the director François OZON. Their film is Everything Went Fine, and I'm sure everything will go fine this evening, the screening. Here we are in Cannes, and at the end of the screening, we will be filming row I.
Du film, on est là.
And you'll see how the audience reacts to the screening of the film.
La mise en place du tapis, on va vous montrer ça.
Here we are, getting the red carpet in place. Sophie MARCEAU, Géraldine PAILHAS, they played sisters, the children of André DUSSOLLIER. The first scene, the film opens.
On l'appelle dans le film, qui reçoit.
Géraldine and Sophie.
Son père a eu une attaque. Elle rejoint sa sœur à l'hôpital.
They're at the hospital.
Après
with their ailing father.
Quelques semaines, le père ne.
And a few weeks later, the father doesn't recover fully, and he is requesting an assisted suicide, and that's gives everybody food for thought. Here we have the Carnival of Animals by Saint-Saëns, and here we have the crew from the film Everything Went Fine on the red carpet.
Un film écrit et réalisé par François OZON, un cinéaste accompagné sur le tapis rouge par ses interprètes. Et quels interprètes? Sophie MARCEAU, André DUSSOLLIER et Géraldine PAILHAS.
Vous n'êtes pas sur Téléfestival, mais s'il est sur Téléfestival aussi, c'est Virginie qui annonce la montée des marches de l'équipe pour les festivaliers.
Everybody on the red carpet. In the background, you can hear a French voice announcing who is on the red carpet, and we know that it's Sophie MARCEAU, André DUSSOLLIER, Géraldine PAILHAS, and François OZON.
Tout s'est bien passé.
All the actors and actresses were wonderful in Everything Went Fine.
Voilà, donc la montée des marches de Tout s'est bien passé. Sophie MARCEAU à l'image.
The red carpet for Everything Went Fine.
Une première.
Sophie MARCEAU has been to Cannes on many occasions. She is no beginner. She's been to Cannes so many times. On the red carpet. The first time was back in 1984, a film called Fort Sagan. And then she was back in the Un certain regard section. And then she directed a short film herself. And then there was the Lord de Tilleul film in Un certain regard as well. She's been here out of competition as well with the Marina de Van film.
Monica Bellucci.
With Monica Bellucci in it as well.
Membre du jury en 2015.
Don't Turn Back, and she has also been on the jury when the Coen brothers were presidents. And here she is in competition.
Avec Tout s'est bien passé.
With Everything Went Fine. This is the first time that Sophie MARCEAU has been in a film in competition in Cannes as an actress.
Quant à François OZON,
as for François OZON, well, he's a regular here, of course. He was due to be here last year in 2020 with his film Summer 85. He was in the official selection, so he had that Cannes 2020 label for his film Summer 85.
Mais avant ça, bien sûr.
Before that, he was in competition with L'Amant Double, Young and Beautiful 2013.
Swimming Pool en compétition.
Swimming Pool in competition in 2003. And of course, Sitcom, that was in Critics Week back in 1998.
Et en 1996, toujours à la Semaine de la Critique, il présentait son premier court-métrage.
And in 1996, he came with a short film called A Summer Dress. So he's a very loyal attendee here.
De 1998.
From 1998 to 2021, François OZON has directed a large number of films.
Pardon, c'était pour... je comptais 21
counting them in my head. 21 films, 21 feature films.
Plus d'un film par an, tout simplement.
So that's more than one film a year. In 2010, he did Le Refuge and also Potiche.
En 2000, c'était Goutte d'eau sur Pierre Blanc.
In listened. It was Drops of Water on Burning Stone. But my favourite film of his is Under the Sand. Charlotte Rampling is in that film. And she's in tonight's film, of course, as well. So here we have the crew from Everything Went Fine, halfway up the steps, being greeted by the Director General and the President of the Film Festival.
Sophie MARCEAU, Géraldine PAILHAS et le réalisateur François OZON.
François OZON is the director of the film.
Bien sûr, très présent à Cannes aussi.
André DUSSOLLIER has also been a regular here.
Avec son réalisateur fétiche à la René, mais pas seulement.
He worked a lot with Alain René, as we know, but also with Duperron in competition. He also came to Cannes with Francis Giraud's film L'Enfance de l'art.
Pour lequel Alain René avait reçu un prix.
And he was in the Alain René film, which won a special prize also.
Ils vont rentrer dans la salle. Pardon, ils vont d'abord.
They are going to reach the top of the steps. There they are. They're going to turn around now and face the photographers and the public. There are people here, obviously not as many as in previous years, but there are many, many people outside the festival hall to see the stars.
Dans le film, il y a aussi deux rôles secondaires.
In the film, there are some interesting roles. Hannah Shigola has a really nice role in the film.
Rentrer avec eux dans la salle.
Let's go inside the building with them, and we'll stay with them until they settle down in their seats on row H.
Ah, c'est pas la bonne porte. On va par là alors. Allons-y.
Oops, they're changing doors.
Non, c'est la bonne porte alors.
No, they've got the right
Ils ont
door.
oublié quelque chose. Alors ils vont juste faire une petite pause comme on en a.
Perhaps they've gone to powder their nose before they go into the movie theatre.
En attendant leur retour,
In the meantime,
on va se retrouver à 21h45 pour les
let me tell you, we'll be back at 9 o'clock for The Velvet Underground, directed by Todd Haynes, a wonderful documentary about Lou Reed's band, and there's information about Andy Warhol, etc., and that period. I've seen the film. It is an amazing film.
avec Todd Haynes, on l'espère.
We will hopefully have a word with Todd Haynes down on the red
Surtout si vous
carpet.
voulez savoir comment ça s'est
And if
passé.
you want to know how everything went for the film, Everything Went Fine, you will see the audience's reaction at about 9:45 this evening when the lights go up after the screening of François OZON's film.
Ah, je pense que c'est les réalisateurs, les frères Altmaier qu'on voit là. Les producteurs, pardon.
The producers are there also,
On a vu les
talking to Sophie MARCEAU.
Ils n'avaient pas été producteurs, ils auraient joué au basket.
And Géraldine PAILHAS, they're very tall gentlemen. I'm sure if they didn't produce films, they would have a good career in basketball.
Cherchez François OZON et André DUSSOLLIER.
So they're congregating now outside the movie theatre, ready to make their entrance.
Voilà donc la mise en place avant l'entrée dans la salle. À mon avis, l'ovation va être énorme.
I'm sure there'll be a standing ovation as soon as they get into the movie theatre, both for the actresses Sophie and Géraldine, but also for the monumental André DUSSOLLIER and the film director François OZON.
Sophie a commencé et c'était tentant évidemment. Deux fois.
Voilà les deux producteurs du film,
There we have the two tall gentlemen are the producers of the film,
Eric et Nicolas Altmaier,
Eric and Nicolas Altmaier.
fidèles collaborateurs de François OZON.
They've worked with François OZON on many projects.
Très bien, très Covid, on ne sert pas avec Thierry Frémaux. André DUSSOLLIER.
André DUSSOLLIER there. You won't recognize him in the film. In fact, you can see it if you're here in France. It's being released quite soon,
Dès le 22 septembre.
on the
Alors que
22nd
voilà,
of
pour entrer dans la salle,
September.
on va juste écouter.
Here we are entering into the room, and we will hear The standing ovation for the crew from the film. Everything went fine.
Le troisième film.
This is the third film to be screened in competition at the 74th Cannes Film Festival. First of all, there was Annette, and then there was Ahead's Knee, which was screened this afternoon.
Pleine conversation avec Sophie MARCEAU.
Now it's everything went fine. The director is entering into the movie theatre.
Voilà donc le public déjà debout qui
The
accueille
audience is standing, welcoming François OZON and his cast.
Géraldine PAILHAS,
Géraldine PAILHAS, Sophie MARCEAU,
André DUSSOLLIER
André DUSSOLLIER,
et les deux producteurs du film.
and the two producers, Nicolas and Eric Altmaier.
L'info, Sophie MARCEAU va débarquer bientôt à Los Angeles pour tourner un film.
If I'm not mistaken, Sophie MARCEAU is on her way to Los Angeles soon to make a film. I'll try and catch her when she's
Voilà donc
there.
François OZON
So here we have François OZON
en place sur le rang I.
sitting on row I.
Salle est debout.
Everyone in the audience is on their feet.
Dans un instant, les lumières
In a few moments, the lights will go down
et les festivaliers
and
vont
the festival
pouvoir
goers
découvrir
will